Hey, Desperate Housewives super fans. Welcome back to the podcast that you all know and love. We are now retiring the intro because I feel bullied from Reddit. And I don't give in to bullying.
Except for right now.
Except for right now, there was one person who was like, I love them so much, but I can't take the intro. And I trust that person. So I guess you guys know where you are, whatever.
And if this is your first time, welcome. We have a lot to catch up on. And when I say a lot, I mean, Christy, I don't know how long this episode is going to be.
Before you start, though, I want to tell the listeners about our Discord.
Please go ahead.
Because in case there are people who quit before we're done and don't listen to our announcements, maybe we should force announcements in the beginning now.
Yeah, for sure.
We started a Discord. Link in bio. Okay, because, guys, we've been trying to, start a little community for the year and a half we've been doing this, and everything has failed. We've tried to get you on Facebook, but Facebook is dead. Somebody in there today said it was deader than Martha Hooper, and it's true. Nobody goes. We don't go on the Facebook. We tried to do polls on the Instagram. The Instagram gets some hits, but it's just to us.
Get some hits.
TikTok, I can no longer access.
I forgot. That's why you haven't been posting.
Yeah, well, I wasn't posting before either because I just couldn't. But now we're on Discord because somebody who was allegedly a TikToker is what they told me. Whatever. Was like, this is a Discord with all my fans. And I was looking and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So we did it.
It's not like you can fact check whether they're a TikToker.
Well, I can't because I can't go on TikTok. So
exactly.
now I can't fact check this. So, yeah, we started it today. So Summer did. We have a 3-hour time difference. And I woke up to a bunch of texts from Summer saying, I'm going rogue. I'm starting our Discord. And I was like, okay. I ignored all the texts, went to Training Mate, came back, signed up, and I was expecting an empty Discord. But no, it's been popping off. So join the conversation, as they used to say on Twitter. Join the conversation.
It's really fun.
It's really funny. Everybody was cracking me up in there.
I'm really looking forward to cracking up. Tonight,
I'm gonna crack up.
I'm doing a lot of cracking up.
I'm gonna crack. I can't do this. Oh my god. So in the Discord, that's where you can go to. It's a good place to be because anytime we're late or we're having crazy circumstances late, we'll let you know first at the Discord. At the Discord.
Ew, I hate that. You make my skin feel slimy.
That's how the Redditors feel about us. No, I don't know. I'm just losing my mind. I don't have brain cells today.
I actually am a little concerned about recording this with you right now.
It's fine. I feel like I'll say something really out of pocket.
Yeah, and then I'll be forced to cut it out 5 minutes later.
No, this is why we're so Alpha and Glinda, because I'll say whatever I want, and I hope you're happy.
Oh, now we're just doing
I hope you're
clauses.
Happy how you grovel in submission to feed your own ambition. That's you.
I don't know if you noticed, but I made the roles for Christy Superfan and Summer Superfan Elphaba Green and Glinda Pink.
I did notice that, and I made my little picture, a picture I took, and I sent it to you and Hannah and Liz, but I don't think it got any response. And the Defy Gravity hat I bought.
Yes, I'm looking at it now.
I made that my little photo, and I made my banner green, so you should make your pink.
Oh, I love it.
And everybody's very funny. I can see where I just opened Reddit by accident. Hate that place. I see why they like us.
They're just like us for real.
Yeah, stars are just like us. But yeah, you don't want to miss out. This generation, you're gonna get big FOMO. Like you're not gonna know everything there is to know if you're not on the Discord. On the Discord, on the Discord, on the Discord.
You are giving the people something new to cringe at.
Good. I'm working late. Okay.
Oh my god, what is going on?
I just feel like there's like a film. I just feel like there's like a film over me, like a
Yeah.
like I'm wrapped in something bad.
Wait, look at the Discord.
Look at the Discord. Look at the Discord. Guys, you'll never know what we're talking about because
Until you join. You're gonna join. This is hilarious.
So, other than the Discord, what was your moment of desperation this week?
I have had multiple. And I'm going to start. I'm going to start with my favorite. So, a couple days ago, my what's the word? Like my ex-lover, my ex-hookup, we are like cool now. Guys, my ex-lover was like a C-list comedian in 2018.
C-list is crazy. Okay.
No,
C-list.
for that time,
Yeah.
and I'm like trying to be diplomatic here.
He doesn't listen.
I know.
Does he know about the pod?
Everybody knows about the pod. Literally everybody in the world knows about this podcast.
That's literally true.
But yeah, no, he like had some success at that time, and that's when like we were hooking up. And every 2 years since then, we not rekindle our anything, but like we start talking again. It's literally every 2 years. So he reached back out to me in 2020 after like I had not heard from him in 2019. And then in 2022, I saw him in Los Angeles and we hung out a little bit. Christy was there. It was an insane turn of events. You got high?
Yeah, I remember with all the secondhand smoke.
Where?
I was literally walking around that crazy event I was dragged to going, oh,
yes!
I'm so high.
I forgot. Christy got a contact high.
Yeah, really bad.
Yes, I forgot about that. And then I think I saw him again in LA. No, I didn't see him in LA.
I went into the store. I did.
Okay.
And we had a really crazy interaction.
Yes, in 2023, Christy saw him, but I opted not to, even though I was there. And then he messaged me. We've like talked a little bit this year because I reached out to him when the fires were happening, and I was like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, are you safe? Whatever." But like occasionally we'll just talk. And he invited me to his stand-up comedy show a couple nights ago, and I went, and I had actually a really great time. Mind you, this stand-up comedy show is in like the back of a bar. Very similar to what you see on Baby Reindeer. I don't know if you've seen the show, but for anybody who has, it's very similar to like when he's trying to get people to come to his show, but he's simply in a bar. And I said that when I walked in. I was like, "Oh, Scott, this is so Baby Reindeer." And he was like, "That's good. Can I use that?" And then he used it in his set.
Come on.
It was funny. This show starts at 6 o'clock. Having a great time, not rushing, but I do have another show I have to be at 8:30 p.m. for my improv teacher.
This all happened before 8:30.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So at like 8:10, we're finally getting out of the comedy show just because like we hung around, we chatted, whatever. Closing out the bill took a long time. And then I call an Uber, and the Uber's 2 minutes away. And then one of the bartenders comes over and says, "Hey, girl," in his little like Irish brogue. He's like, Oh, ladies, there is a Tara Grattan right now is like, what are you doing? Botching my accent. There's a woman outside who is hitting people, like hitting people as they're leaving. She's harassing people and like physically assaulting them. And he was like, "We've called the cops, but like just hang in here for a little bit, okay?" And I was like, "Well, I have an Uber arriving in 2 minutes, and if you aren't outside within a certain amount of time, they take your money." So I had to get outside. So the one bartender escorted us out past the crazy lady. We got in the Uber. It is now 8:22. There's no chance I am making it to this improv show on time, and I hate being late for things, especially because this is like my teacher and I want to impress her. And I get to the theater, sprint up the stairs. It is very tiny, it's very intimate, and in order to take a seat, you have to essentially get on the stage. So I was like waiting in the darkness, and then the usher was like, "Oh, you can just go sit." And I know it wasn't like it's not like it was a Broadway show or anything, but I'm respectful. So in the dark, I climb up to the back. I take the seat in the aisle on the back, and it isn't until about halfway through the show that I realize the person sitting in front of me is none other than American singer and songwriter Sarah Bareilles.
Wait, so she was at... Oh, I thought she was at Bad Comedians show.
No.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so I'm then sitting there like tense because I'm like, "Oh my God, Sarah Bareilles." I was busting out Love Song at the age of 11. Just that was like my go-to, and she's great. She's very, very talented. We also know her from Girls 5 Eva fame.
Which you didn't even watch, by the way, fake fan.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah, the first episode. But there's a character named Summer on there who's literally exactly like you, and I can't believe you did not. You just won't watch the show.
No, it's not that I won't, it's that I can't because you have to pay for it.
It's on Netflix.
It is?
Yes.
Oh.
Since last year. Peacock canceled it, and then Netflix picked it up and then canceled it.
Okay, well,
You
in
also
any
had my
case,
Peacock at the time. I'm pretty
did
sure.
I?
Yes.
In any case, after the show, I leaned forward and I said, "Hey, sorry, are you Sarah Bareilles?" And she goes, "Yeah." It's like, obviously, I don't know why I asked. And I was like, "Oh, your sister is my teacher, ha ha ha." And she was like, "Oh, what's your name?" I said, "I'm Summer, blah, blah, blah." And she introduced me to her friend that she was with. So it was just very quick and easy. And then I said bye to my teacher. Now, after this, I was supposed to go to a birthday party in the East Village.
God, what a night for you.
I know, but my phone was on 2%, so I opted out of that one, and I was working a double on Saturday. This leads me into my next moment of desperation, and then I promise I'll wrap up. I worked a double on Saturday. For those who don't know, my body is not built for the double. So I had a really, 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 really tough brunch shift.
All you do is stand. What do you mean your body's not built for a double? You stand there and walk people to their table.
Yes, but I was there for 13 hours.
Okay.
Christy!
I would love to see you on a set as a PA for 18 plus hours.
Why would I do that to myself?
Because you'd be running around. You just stand and then walk like 10 feet to people's tables.
Yes, but on this particular day, we were dealing with some very angry people that I had to walk to their tables. And by dinner service, I was super excited because on the reservations list, I saw the name Casey Nicholaw. And for those who don't know, Casey Nicholaw is a Tony-nominated, perhaps Tony-winning, Broadway director and choreographer. So I'm telling everybody at work, "Oh my God, Casey Nicholaw's coming in." They all have no idea who he is. And I'm like, no, like he's a Broadway guy. He's so cool, whatever. And he comes in, and they were like 15 minutes late. So every table that is coming in around their time, I'm like rushing to get them sat. And then I'm over at table 23. I look up and see Casey Nicola and his husband have entered. And I'm like, all right, here, bye, gotta go. And then I run up to them and I snatch the menus from the manager and I go, I'll take them. Hello, Mr. Nicola.
You said that?
I sure did.
I'm scared of
And
you now.
no, he was honestly so flattered. I was like, I'm so glad you're here. It's like making my day. It's been a long day and I'm just very glad to see you. I'm a big fan
Mm-hmm.
of your work. And so I'm walking him to the table and he was like, "Oh, you just made my day. Thank you so much." So we were
Aw.
chatting a little bit. And then once I sat them, he goes, "Have you auditioned for me before?" And I was like, "No, but I'd love the chance to." And then I let them do their thing. We had a really, really, really crazy dinner service. And then as they were leaving, I said goodbye. But Casey Nicola and husband Josh are really, really wonderful. And let's hope he calls me in one day. So I
Well,
was
does he
telling
have your
him,
information?
no, but he knows where I work. I was telling him the Sarah Bareilles story,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm having a great week between her and now you. Oh, this is great." Just to kind of wrap up on all of this, I've had two celebrity encounters this week, gone to an insane stand-up comedy show, and meanwhile, all I can really think about is Lost.
That's very valid. That's real.
Yeah, so that's like just the desperate tie-in is all I care about right now is Lost. It consumes me.
Where are you in Lost now?
Season 2, episode 2 or 3?
Whoa.
I
You've been
know.
burning through now because I feel like you were on episode 10 like last week.
I was. And the thing is, I have been staying up till 1 a.m. most nights just to watch this stupid show.
That's been you with Scandal. No, I've been. Lost is so good. Never mind.
Okay, please, please, please tell us your moment of desperation.
Gee whiz, I don't even know because I've just again like you've been obsessed with Lost. I've been obsessed with Scandal right now. I used to watch it when it was on, and I think right now I don't have TikTok anymore, so what do I do in the morning? I read the Wall Street Journal. And I've become very smart, smarter than I have previously been. I downloaded the news. I subscribe to the News Plus, so I can get all of the articles that usually have a paywall. So I know a lot of what's going on in this country today, and it's all really bad and bleak. So I said I need to channel this political smart energy and put it somewhere else. So I put it in Scandal. And watching Scandal as an adult, knowing like things about politics is so much more interesting. Because I didn't know what they were saying. They were just like meep, 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 meep. And I said, show me Olivia Pope and President Fitz. Like that's all I cared about. Similar to Mike and Susan. I just wanted to watch them. But now like knowing stuff, it's really interesting. I'm the same way. Like I got home from the Oaks the other night. Got in bed. I was watching Scandal till 2 a.m. I've been so tired. I've been getting home
Yes.
early and I've just been watching Scandal. It's so good. But I think when I watched it on TV, because it ended in 2018, I watched the entire run. It like I feel like I was just passively watching it because it was so hard to like watch week by week because they don't have a recap after season 3 every episode. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on anymore. But whatever, as a binge, it's better. But other than me watching Scandal every day. Also, guys, maybe we'll talk about it on the Discord if you watch Scandal. But what's so good about it is like, I think this, did you ever watch it?
No.
So the big thing is like Olivia Pope, she's this political fixer. She's having like in love affair with the president of the United States. That's what like makes it really juicy. And he has like a first lady, but the thing is, the first lady character, Melly, is so incredible. Like she is so strong on her own that like you never really feel bad for her and you never hate her. She's just like all three of them are like such good like the character work that they do is so like they are just all amazing characters. So that's all I can't form really smart things to say about it right now, but that's all I could say. Also, the things that they get away with on ABCs are really crazy, but whatever. So other than me being obsessed with Scandal, yesterday I go into a coffee shop in Studio City where I live, not to dox myself, and I see this man come in holding this adorable little puppy, and I'm staring at this puppy, and then I look at him and I'm like, okay, he looks a little bit familiar, but again, my neighborhood honestly is like a small town. I see the same people around, so I was like, maybe I've just seen him before, whatever. But I'm still like, I can't stop looking at this dog. Then he gets closer, and I'm like, I need to talk to this dog. And then I see the girl he's with, and then it clocks who it is, because that's Demi Lovato's fiance. And next to him is, in fact, Demi Lovato. Guys, when I tell you, as a teenager, I was to all her shows. We've met many times. She never remembered me. But I'm flipping out. I'm just sitting there like, oh my God. But I also now am in this point where I hate talking to celebrities. Like, very anti-you. Like, I just get so embarrassed. I get so embarrassed every time I talk to a celebrity now in public. If I'm working, that's fine. I'm like, hi, let's go here, let's go here. That's fine. But just seeing them in public, I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I was like, I'm not going to talk to her, whatever. We also have, like, this may be a Patreon story, but we have, like, a person in common who is no longer in her life. No longer really in mine, and it's a really insane. I have something so funny and juicy to tell her, but I was like, this isn't the right time. I don't want to ruin her day. But so I see them, and he sees me like stare. I'm really honestly at this point staring at the dog still. So I'm waiting for my drink. It's really packed in there, but I feel like her fiance thought I was staring because he was with Demi Lovato, which is plausible. So I mouthed from across. I was like, I love your dog. And he was like, oh, thanks. And I was like, so cute. So then I walked over and I got my drink, and I was just being normal. And I was like, oh my God, I literally can't stop staring at this dog. I'm so obsessed. And he was like, oh, thanks. And then I turned to Demi. I was like, what's the dog's name? And she goes, Pickle. And I was like, okay. It's like, it reminds me of my little dog. Pickles.
Pickle singular? Oh, okay.
Pickle. I think it was either Pickle or Pickles. But it was so cute. Let me see if I can find a picture of this dog on her Instagram. And she had like her little sunglasses on, and I almost said something, but I was like, I honestly like did not want to draw attention to her. And I feel like I don't know if she could tell I knew who she was or not, but I really acted so like I would act with anybody. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh my God, it reminds me of my little childhood dog. And she was
Aww.
like, oh. Let me see if I can find a picture of Pickle. Like, look at this dog.
Oh.
Tell me you couldn't just stare at this dog. But then I walked out, and I was just thinking, I was like, it's so crazy that I share this neighborhood. Similar to me seeing Hilary Duff on my flight home from Paris. Yeah.
Should we get into the episode?
Yeah.
Let's get into the episode.
Let's get into the episode. Do you think the Redditors hate that?
Yes. This is Season 3, Episode 15, titled The Little Things You Do. And we open on Orson falling like Elphaba in Wicked. And even though Elphaba saw a reflection of her younger self, Orson remembers the night of Monique's death.
So here we get the full Monique story. It's interesting how they wrapped up the mystery halfway through the season. I think it probably has to do with Marcia Cross pregnancy.
Right.
But it felt like a natural, like this can't go on all season. So it felt fine. So we find out that when Mike was out getting the parts for the sink, Orson comes home, and Mother Hodge in the interim has killed Monique. So Orson is also innocent, and then Mike walks in literally immediately after Orson walks in, and then we see what we saw before, with Orson being weird, and he's like, oh, take your wrench.
I was a little confused as to why Orson was not more emotional. Like, I just thought he should have been sobbing. This was his girlfriend, was it not?
I think he is. I feel like he's just hardened. Like, he's just seen it all at this point with his mom.
But, like, Well, I get that, but when he was saying that, he was going to call the cops, she says, "I'll go to jail." And he goes, "You killed someone."
Well, when he found out he was raped, he just went, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's true. Like he's so desensitized. It's actually
Yeah.
quite sad.
I just wonder. This is probably something that's out there and like confirmed, but I feel like Orson was probably supposed to be the killer, but there was probably such a good fan response and like good chemistry between him and Marsha Cross that they were like, you know what, let's just keep him around. So they changed it because I can't imagine that the Orson we know now would plow Mike Delfino down with a car to protect his mom.
That is a great point.
Like, why wouldn't he just um, call the police? Like, at that point, just call the police. Like, that seems more likely that he would stage it so his mom would, in fact, go to jail.
Yeah.
And probably also had to do with Marsha Cross pregnancy, too, because they were probably like, oh my God, we need, like, some stability in the Hodge household.
That is a great point. I never thought of that. Wow.
I didn't either, but, like, it definitely looks like something had shifted from the season 2 finale to now.
Do you think, just in your like expert opinion, that there is more room to play with like plot holes and things when you're watching on network and it's coming out every week, and like at the time people are watching this, and even if there is a recap, um, do you feel like there's more forgiveness for plot holes like that because people won't always remember, whereas if you're watching straight through you might notice something easier?
Well, I think with network, plot holes kind of come more from like writers leaving and it's week by week. So like actors might want to leave and things
Right,
shift
right.
versus on a streaming show, you're kind of contracted for those episodes already. So unless like somebody leaves like a few years in or they change something, it's usually like those few writers and now like it's just very different the way they staff and everything.
Sure.
Because I think plot holes are simply just like writer staffing issues. That happens a lot on Lost.
Really?
People just kept leaving. Yeah. I'll tell you off mic.
Yeah, I need to know everything. All right. So then we see Orson and Gloria burying Monique. Again, this was just the moment where I was like, why is he not absolutely distraught? And they're just going ahead. Obviously, he's very reluctant to do this, but he doesn't seem terribly sad. And then Gloria is in the hole, right? And she broke her hip.
Yeah, so we see how she broke her hip. How did he get her out of the hole though?
Picked her up.
I guess.
Or maybe when you're like making pancakes, how you put the spatula underneath the pancake and you flip it? Maybe
Yeah.
he took the shovel and he put it underneath her.
Probably. But I don't know. Like it felt a bit rushed to me, and that I don't feel like this was the original storyline. Like, you're gonna tell me she fell in a hole because she was grave digging? Okay. Sure, Jan. So then we get back to the present day, and as Orson is thinking about what he's done, and he's falling, a tree breaks his fall, and he lands relatively safely right by the doctors, so they swiftly pick him up and they go, he's breathing, he's breathing.
Then the next morning, we see people waking up on Wisteria Lane, a little montage, and the last person we see wake up is Gabby, horrified because she is next to an undressed Zach Young.
And a condom wrapper is laid out, and she goes, why are you in trousers? Or why are you in your boxers? And he goes, well, I had to put on something to go get the mail, insinuating he was laying there butt naked. And this just like this
thinking
whole
about
thing made me really upset. And then he's like, now we're in love, we're together forever. And he gives her a hug. He goes, I'm so glad you see me as a man and not a boy.
Yeah, Zach is really delulu, and like, I mean, I get it because I do the same thing, but
I wasn't gonna like say that he reminds me of you a lot here, but you brought it up. Like this was you in 2018.
yeah, but look at all the crazy things that happened to me in 2018.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just really funny.
So he's like, "Oh, okay, honey, I'll help you." Like he's locked in.
Yeah.
Then we go to the Scavo household where Tom is making breadsticks and he's all stressed out and Lynette is trying to be encouraging and to no one's surprise, Tom is shooting her down.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just trying to help. I don't know what to do about all these breadsticks. And he's just flipping out. I'm like, why are you making breadsticks in your personal oven? And like, that's a crazy thing to do. You have a full kitchen.
Yeah, like surely this is something that can be done in your restaurant.
Yeah. Then Bree is in the hospital and Andrew is being a very good son and watching over her. And then he finds out that Orson is in... Oh, no, I think he tells Bree that Orson is in the hospital due to attempted suicide. And she's like, he wouldn't do that.
Right, and we've seen how Orson reacts to even the mention of suicide.
Right. And then he's like, well, I think he cut the ladder and he feels guilty, so now he tried to off himself.
We also see Susan and Ian at the hospital. They're there to pick up Jane's things. And while Ian is sort of taking care of that, Susan goes in to visit Bree, and they kind of just like make up.
Yeah, it was nice. I like how Bree owned up to her falling for whatever her man had said. And then in the meantime... Oh yeah, and Bree's like, oh, Mike has nothing to do with Monique's murder. We have to exonerate him. We have to exonerate him. We have to exonerate him.
You love saying things 3 times.
I'm losing my mind.
The Discord, the Discord, the Discord.
Discord, Discord, Discord. But while they're chatting, Ian is accidentally given Mike's things, which are labeled as Jane's, which is... How are you getting Jane Hainsworth, who has been there for
3 years?
3 years, confused with Mike Delfino, who already left.
Yeah.
He's been at home. He's been in jail. He's been with Edie Britt. Like,
Yes.
why was Mike's engagement ring that was thousands of dollars just sitting at the hospital when he already was discharged?
Like weeks and weeks prior.
I was like, come on. Like, you really want me to believe that they said, well, goodbye, Mike Delfino. You didn't have anything on you. Just this expensive engagement ring, which you could have bought with Daddy Mafia Boss's cash. So it could be a bling.
Then this begs the question, if they were so ready to give Ian Mike's Jane's things, whose things did Mike get?
Yeah, they could have given him anything.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this hospital's corrupt. Well, we know this hospital's corrupt. But like, imagine you get in a coma and then you wake up and you don't know where you are. He doesn't remember he almost proposed to Susan and he bought a ring, so they can literally steal from these patients. Somebody call Luigi.
Fairview Memorial Hospital has a lot of explaining to do.
I want to do a full investigation into Fairview Memorial. Is that what it's called? Fairview Memorial Hospital?
Yeah,
TV shows love a Memorial Hospital.
they really do.
Yeah.
One of the roles on Discord is Fairview Small Business Owner.
I saw that. Just like Tom Scavo, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't laugh at that one.
Oh, okay.
I was like, okay. Well, I guess there are small business owners. There's Mike Tom, Edie.
Oh yeah, Mike owns his own business.
Yeah.
Edie doesn't. Edie owns her
She's
realty
a
business.
realtor, so I would assume.
I would think that she works for like a company like Sir Hunt.
Strand. I don't know why I did that.
That was so Anna Faris in what's the Playboy Bunny movie?
I don't know why I did that.
The House Bunny.
I was a woman possessed.
Do it again.
I used to do this all the time as a child. Ryan Serhant.
You sound exactly like Anna Faris.
Ryan Serhant, you have 3 days to live.
Oh my god.
You just went, oh my god. Can you not do that? Can you not do it?
Oh, let me try. I've never thought to do it. Hang on. Okay.
You never used to talk like a demon as a kid? Right.
I'm sure I did, but I would like to point out that was a long time ago. Okay, give me a name. Give me a name to do, because you already did Sir Hunt.
Okay, you want to do somebody else?
Yeah.
Who else is as funny as Ryan Serhant?
Give me. Okay, ma'am, for $1, name a woman. Name any woman.
You know I'm bad at direct questions. Olivia Pope.
Wait, I can't do it if you're gonna look at me.
You have to take a breath.
Okay.
And take it from here.
That's crazy. Okay.
Like
Do
you're
you know
about to
what
belt.
Olivia Pope.
You don't have to give yourself a double. Olivia Pope. Did you ever see those local smoking commercials where they would
Yes.
have like the thing, I was a smoker for 40 years.
I don't like how good you are at this.
I was a smoker for 45 years. I got that. Oh my god.
Which?
The pointing emoji really comes out at you.
Now you sound like Gollum.
Anyway, where were we in Desperate Housewives?
Ian starts rummaging through the belongings that are labeled Jane but clearly are Mike's, and he finds the engagement ring. I cannot help but wonder, has Ian ever smiled?
No. Not since Jane died.
Right.
That's right, he's like, Susan, I'm in love with you. Wait, I lost my accent. Why am I talking like this? He's like, Susan, I want to marry you in the mortuary. But he doesn't smile. He's not like, Susan.
Right.
It's, Susan, I want to marry you.
Susan. Like, there's always this kind of dead look in his eyes, too.
Sorry, I had to gargle. Susan runs to Ian as he's looking at the engagement ring, and she goes, "Oh my god, Ian, you'll never believe it. Mike didn't do it. There's evidence. He's gonna be free." And he's just like, "Oh, lovely." And then he drops the engagement ring, and she fully picks up a velvet box and goes, "Here you go." Doesn't even realize. Yeah.
You know who I just remembered?
What?
Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get back to him, I guess.
Speaking of people we haven't seen whose names start with Carl, we see Carlos again, and he's with Mike, and they're just kind of yapping about Orson. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah, and Carlos is like, isn't that great? He fell off a roof or something. And then Mike's like, not that great. I could be charged with attempted murder depending on what he says. And who's at the door? Looking so excited and hopeful was Susan.
Yeah, I guess I had my head down or I was like typing while this was happening because I didn't realize that she was there.
Oh, well, it's a quick blink and you miss it moment. So then Lynette has made a mistake and she did not order enough chairs. And she puts everybody on a mission. And you know what this made me think of? When you were telling your really crazy story about the towels, when you were out of towels. And I said, why didn't you go out and buy some? Why didn't your boss send you on a mission to buy some? Like, Lynette would have been really good in that situation,
Yes.
as would I have been.
Yes.
Like, I was like, yeah, you just get her done. You figure it out.
Well, okay. All I can say is that Scavo's Pizzeria has like 6 hours to open, and I
Yeah.
had 3 people ready to use the sauna in 10 minutes. So,
I think a lot of things that just didn't have to happen, though.
I wish you had been there.
Me too, because why didn't you check the name of the person on the reservation versus the name of the person who did a walk-in?
I don't know.
Boom. That's shot number one. Second, why, when the towels already weren't being cleaned, why didn't anybody think ahead to get more before these people came in? Boom. Shot number two.
You want to go for number 3?
Hannah and I have had like long conversations about what went wrong there.
Wait. What?
We've really like dug into this situation.
That particular situation?
Yes, because I'm dumbfounded by it. So I was like, Hannah, you gotta hear what happened. That's what, did she not reference it to you?
No.
She did in our group chat one day.
What did she say?
I don't know, but I remember she said something. But yeah, we've had like long, like talking about like problem solve, like what could have been done so many times.
This is like crazy information.
It's so funny and so stupid.
Well, good thing I don't work there anymore.
Okay, so then Carlos goes to talk to Gabby, and he's like, so why did I see Zach Young this morning in his underwear? And Gabby's like, he just came to bring me a present.
And it doesn't take long for Gabby to break down, start freaking out because she doesn't remember anything that happened the night before. But according to Zach, they had sex.
Then Lynette comes out with her gang, taking all of Gabby's chairs, and he's walking away, and he just goes, I can't believe you bagged another neighborhood kid. And then he starts walking away, and she's like, where are you going? He goes, to warn the Scavo boy.
Then we cut to Orson getting interrogated by his doctor. And he launches into the story of finding his father dead in the bathroom. I actually got really confused at this part, and I like couldn't follow it.
Yeah, so basically the doctor's like, we have to keep you under suicide watch. And he goes, I'm not suicidal. And he's like, well, we know you had time in the bin. So then we find out that Orson was in fact in the mental hospital because he found his dad dead in a bathtub and his mom blamed him.
Right, okay.
She was like, you're a terrible son, so you made him kill himself. He's got to talk to Zach Young.
He's got to talk to a therapist.
Yeah, really bad. I think this is why he's like dead inside.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. It's sad.
Yeah.
That's why I have the role Orson Hodge apologist.
Yeah. And then we get to Mother Hodge and Alma, and she's like, Alma, guess what? Orson tried to kill himself. Isn't that great? And Alma's like genuinely concerned. She's like, wait, what do you mean? And she goes, suicide is hardly the act of a happily married man. Which, like, that's a crazy thing to say about your child that you birthed.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot wrong with Mother Goose, and
Yeah.
I think I'm a little confused as to how, well, I know we said they must have changed it, but like Alma switched up kind of quick because she went from raping this man so that she would get pregnant by him to being like, give it up, he doesn't love me.
Well, because she switched up because she was just told, like, no, he does love you. He does love you. Like, just
Yeah.
wait till you have a baby. Because in her mind, they stayed together because of the baby last time. So in her
Right.
cracked out brain, she was like, he will love me again if I'm pregnant.
Right,
And
right.
then
Okay.
when she said, hey, I'm pregnant, and he said, I don't care, I still don't care about you, that's when, like, she was like, oh, wait, he doesn't care about me at all. And then she got locked in the attic.
Feeling a little bad for Alma, I guess.
Me too. She's just been, I think she's not a well woman. And
No.
she has been steered in the wrong path. Again, she's, I think, inherently good, but mentally ill.
Yeah.
So she just fell into the wrong. I would love to know her backstory. Why is she like this?
The truth behind Alma.
That's what I want to know. So then Tom gets to the restaurant and sees all the different chairs and starts having a freak out. But I think all the different chairs is kind of a vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
like
I
charming.
thought it looked good. Yeah, it feels like a nice, cute little family restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, it's not stale and like it looks good. Tom, relax.
Yes, take a chill pill, Tom.
Like, trust your SVP wife. She knows what she's doing.
Then we are back at the Van de Hodge household, and Danielle is pissed because she has to look after Bree, so she's like yelling at Andrew, and she's like, I don't want to do this. I shouldn't have to look after Mom. She's just such an ingrate. It's really, it pisses me off.
And Andrew's like, I have to go to work and I have to run this household. You have to take care of Mom. And she goes, I liked you better when you were a sociopath.
Yeah.
I'm just really obsessed with Andrew's switch up.
I know. This is prime Andrew Van de
Yeah.
Camp.
So good.
Then we go to Scavo's Pizzeria once more. Now it is the opening. And things just get crazier from here, honestly.
Yeah, we start with Zach being really manipulative, talking to Gabby, saying he goes, I love you, Gabby. I haven't been this happy since my mom killed herself.
Yeah. And
Like, what do you
obviously,
say to that?
obviously there's not a whole lot she can say, so instead she tries to sick Carlos on him. And Gabby's like, please, 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 you have to intimidate him. You have to do something. Like, put up that macho Latino, nobody else can have me shtick. And so Carlos follows Zach into the bathroom, and he's about to get into this reluctant conversation when I feel like this is like a universal no-no of you don't look at another man's genitalia at the urinal. And also, I think it's standard practice that you don't use the urinal right next to a person.
I don't know. Men are weird.
I know. I also don't understand why urinals exist because A, shouldn't we have left those in like 1950? And B, just use a toilet like a normal person.
They're
It
so
re-
barbaric.
Yeah, they are. And it
I
actually, no,
love
like,
being a girl.
I know, me too. I actually do find it deeply disturbing that this is normalized.
It's true, because, like, do they have those in offices? Like, in the men's bathroom, do you just go in and see your coworker that you work with every day and he whips out his schlong and pisses? That's a crazy thing to do. Like, that's vile to me.
Like, imagine seeing, like, Joe Schmo with the corner office whip out his schlong.
I'm like, this is why we need separate bathrooms.
I genuinely just don't understand like how you can be comfortable
No.
with your private, like your most private part exposed for other people to see.
Men are different. They probably start taking out the rulers. Like,
Oh, that's why they're always carrying pocket rulers.
yeah. Are they? Probably.
I don't know.
Especially in an office.
I don't know. I just think in the year of our Lord 2025, there is no reason to have these like cold clinical little tubes where you just whip out your dick and like anybody who walks in can see it, knows what vile act you are committing. Just why don't you have doors?
Like, you don't think Hitler loved a urinal? Because I bet he did.
I bet Hitler loved a good urinal.
He probably did. And he said, if you are under 16-inch, we cut off. That's probably what he did.
16.
Yes.
16 inches a third leg.
Because you know what? He was probably so tiny that he thought that'd be normal. So he wouldn't let anybody into his bathroom.
Carlos sees that Zach has, what's the right phraseology here?
Well endowed.
Zach is well endowed.
Hitler 16-inch.
Right. Carlos sees that Zach Young's dick puts Hitler's to shame. So,
By the way, this is a Hitler hating podcast. We hate Hitler.
we
I
hate
hate Hitler. We hate Hitler. I just feel like you have to be clear these days. I hate Hitler.
I also hate I hate Vietnam.
Wait, what is that from?
Modern Family.
I hate Vietnam.
Lily, don't say that. That's where you're from. That's I hate Vietnam.
That girl's one of the funniest actors of our time. So yeah, he goes back to Gabby and he goes, you would have remembered if you slept with Zach Young. And she goes, huh? And then he hits like a really crazy
Girthy.
third leg. Or a girthy sausage hanging from the ceiling.
Wait.
Are we gonna title this episode Zach's Girthy
Young's
Sausage?
Zach Young's Girthy Sausage. That's exactly what I was writing. Oh, dear God. Cody seeing us upload this episode. Zach Young's Girthy Sausage.
So then Mother Hodge goes to Danielle and because she's been stalking and she's like, I want to take care of Bree. You can go to your little party. And dumb Danielle is like, all right, thanks, Grandma. So it's literally like Cinderella. She's can go to the ball now because of her evil fairy godmother.
My note actually says Danielle is so stupid.
I said she tells stupid Danielle she'll take care of her.
We have to start calling her Dee Dee for dumb Danielle.
Dumb Danielle, yeah. And then Alma is climbing the roof across the street going, help, help, help me. And Danielle is just not facing her, even though she's looking in a compact, so she can probably see.
Yeah, she needs to borrow...
Ball gown.
She needs to borrow Susan's compact from the funeral so that she can see the entire scene play out in the compact.
I thought we were going to see another crazy cut with the compact, but we didn't. And then Alma falls off the roof to her demise. Bye, Alma.
Then we're back to Scavo's Pizzeria. We see a little Tom and Lynette. We see Mike talking to Susan.
Wait, the Mike and Susan's made me really sad.
I didn't take proper notes on it. Can you inform me?
Yes, Mike is like, "Hi, Susan," and she goes, "Why did you say that you were gonna be murdered?" What? No, she was like, "Why?" She was like, "I heard you talking to Carlos that you said you might get an attempted murder charge because of Orson. And I came over to tell you that you were free." And then he just looks sad, and then she goes over to Ian, and he's just like looking sad. But this is his doing. He fell for Edie's trap.
Did Susan say it all staccato like you just did, or was that your own interpretation of the line?
That was my own interpretation.
Okay.
I was trying to, make it different. Like,
Then Gabby marches over to Zach, and she's fuming, and she's like, "We didn't have sex, you little shit." Edie makes a toast, and I was happy to see that she had a moment here, and also that she was using it for good.
Me too, but also was confused as to why she was making the toast.
I know, I feel like they just needed her to, be there.
Yeah. I
Because
guess Austin's working there, so.
Yeah, it would have been strange if she, essentially forced Tom to hire him and then didn't go. But then Tom makes a little speech, and he thanks Lynette, and we kind of see them, making up, basically.
And then Ian makes a speech for some reason and then proposes to Susan, which it was because Ian saw her talking to Mike. So he got upset. So he proposes to Susan while she's literally chewing. And everyone's like, "Yay!" And then Zach sees that and is like, "Gabrielle Solis, will you marry me?" And everyone goes,
Yeah. You're not even dating.
It was kind of funny, though. He's just he doesn't know how to interact with people. So I think he's just taking these cues and being like, "Oh, that worked for this couple that's been together for a long time."
I have a question.
What?
So, I caught something. Wouldn't Mike's memories only be erased from after having moved on to Wisteria Lane?
No, he said he remembers a little bit of Wisteria Lane.
No, but I mean, everything prior to moving on to Wisteria Lane, he should theoretically remember, right? Because he was, stuck in 2004.
Oh, yeah.
So, how did he not remember the Monique thing immediately?
Because that was not that was while he was, that was recent. That wasn't supposed to be before. That was supposed to be while he and Susan were together.
How?
She says something about that. She's like, "Oh, no, we were together." He was on a job that night or something. They've made it clear that was within, this was a very recent thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so.
Because remember, no, when we were with grocery store shooter and the husband, I don't think he had even known that Monique died yet, because we uncovered Monique's body. It was still fresh.
Wait, okay. So, but I'm
So this probably had just recently happened when Orson plowed him down with a car.
Okay, but Orson's girlfriend is killed by his mother, and he immediately goes and gets with Bree.
Yeah, pretty much. Again, I think that's a plot hole in which they weren't expecting to keep him around for a long time. And that was probably just... They probably just liked Kyle MacLachlan, because how can you not? And they were like, okay, we have to put him with Bree. And he moved on with Bree very fast.
Well, because he was at the movies with Susan.
Yeah.
So this must have been post Monique's death.
You can't. I don't think there was a Monique storyline when we met him with Susan, so you can't
Oh,
really think of that far back.
that bothers me though.
Yeah, it's hard with things like that. You can't like think too much into it because I feel like then they were probably thinking to bring him in more towards like a Susan storyline.
Yeah.
Kyle MacLachlan, if you would like to be on our podcast, please let us know. We would love to have you and hear your stories.
Guys, DM Kyle MacLachlan until he agrees to be on
Yeah.
the podcast.
Because remember when Cody told us how he and Bree were supposed to have like a weird storyline,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah.
they and then made the George character.
Yeah.
So it's probably something like that, and that's why plot holes happen. Because sometimes you just have to go in a different direction. Because it probably was it was weirder.
Orson wants to talk to Bree, but learns that she checked out at the hospital. And the nurse is like, "Oh, your mother called us to make sure that we were keeping you overnight." And then obviously he's like super, super alarmed. And we are inside the Vanda Hodge household. We hear Orson leaving a voicemail, and he's like, "Someone pick up. Bree, Bree, pick up." And Mother Hodge goes and reaches for a big, big, big knife. Almost as big as Zach Schlong.
And also, Danielle had gone to the party, and Andrew saw her there, so he raced home because he was like, "Okay, well, you dumb bitch." He's like, "You shouldn't have gone." So he runs home, and he goes, "Mom, mommy, are you okay?" And Mother Hodge just whacks him, and he falls down the
Yeah.
stairs. So then, by the time Orson gets home, he just sees like Andrew like this, and then Mother Hodge is staging. She drugs Bree, and she's staging her suicide in the bathtub.
Yeah, I want to just fill in a little something that we skipped. Gabby and Zach are at the pizzeria outside arguing. Carlos comes over. Zach leaves, very, very disappointed. And Carlos is basically saying that like he's having a hard time, because he does still have feelings for Gabby. And then with all of Gloria's evil antics, she's like standing over Bree's bed like a sleep paralysis demon. Like that was my first thought when I saw her like that.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, and then when she's like dragging Brie out of the bed, she like rips the covers off of her, and they do this like aerial shot that you can tell the woman in the bed is definitely some kind of body double for Marsha Cross.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Also, you notice that like in the end too with Orson's little like montage,
Yes, I noticed that.
but
Yeah.
because she was very pregnant with twins, like they needed to make her bedridden.
Oh,
Yeah, Gloria is like telling Bree, she's like, "I will not let him be his father's son. I'm sorry. I had to do this to you. You seem like a good woman, but he's married to Alma. He's married to Alma." So clearly, Alma is also a bit cracked out, and in her mind, Orson has just been cheating um, on Alma this entirety, which I guess they didn't get divorced technically, so
technically no.
whatever. But, and she's projecting her own trauma of being cheated on and then murdering her husband.
Then Orson gets in and he sees Bree drowning in the bathtub, and he gets like a flashback to his father and finding him dead, and he starts full on fighting Mother Hodge, and he waterboards her. Oh my God, my jaw was
This
on the
was
floor.
this was kind of uncomfortable to watch, I will
Yeah.
say. I think in my like old age, as I approach not 30, but whatever, I'm just like a lot more like squirmy with things. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I watched this as a kid and I was like, yeah, get her. But now I'm like, ah, like it was scary. Like, he's literally
Absolutely.
waterboarding his mom, trying to save Bree, and then he like throws her, and he does save her.
Because that's the woman he loves.
Yeah, so he definitely has his redemption arc here. Um, and then Gloria starts having a stroke. And she goes, "Olson, help me. I'm having a stroke." And he goes, "Oh no, Mother. Well, it's too bad. Nobody's around to hear you scream."
Ruthless at this point, and Orson carries her outside and like places her next to Alma, who is dead. And I was like a little sad for Alma, honestly. Like, I have some sympathy for her.
I was too. I feel like she could have had a redemption arc as well.
Yeah. And then Orson is monologuing about what the next morning will look like, telling Bree that the two of them will be found and it'll just look like such a tragedy. And of course, it's Ida Greenberg that has to find them, right? Because, like, she always gets the fuzzy end of the lollipop.
Yeah, she shows up just to see something crazy. But this is staged perfectly because there was the old suicide note from when Alma faked her suicide before. So he just placed that, and so they didn't have to forge a note or anything. Now the detectives have to drop the charges because on Mike Delfino.
Then Orson is in the hospital with Gloria, who is completely paralyzed, and she can't even speak. And Orson is thrilled to shreds.
But her mind is completely intact. That's like actually a nightmare, to be completely mentally healthy, but you can't speak or move. What would you do if you were like that? I think I would just say, put Desperate Housewives on, for real.
Well,
Like, I would just have to watch TV.
At that point, that's kind of all you can do. I guess you could read if, like, somebody was there to turn the pages for you.
But that's even like a lot of work. Like, I think I literally have to just sit there and watch TV for the rest of my days.
Ooh, so hard.
No, like, that sounds, after a while, that's not a good life to live. At least for me, who likes to do things.
Yeah, you do.
I like to have a working brain.
I'm trying to think of, like, what else you could possibly do.
No, I was thinking about it as I was watching it. I was like, you can't do anything for the rest of your life except for consume media.
Yeah, and you could, like, listen to music with your eyes closed.
Yeah, I guess you could listen to music. But how do you tell somebody what music you want to listen to? You can't.
Well, I mean, hopefully the people around you would know you well enough to know what you like.
Yeah. You would hope.
I mean, yeah, you would hope. Desperate Housewives super fans. She fell out of her chair.
Wait.
It's giving Orson.
I was doing Orson popping up.
Okay, yeah, I said, oh, it's giving Orson.
That's our episode. We've been on for an hour and 37 minutes.
I'm gonna have so much fun cutting this.
Yeah, there's a lot. You gotta cut.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to the podcast that you know you're listening to. I
am Summer Moran, by the way.
And I'm Christy Gomez. Please join our Discord. Please join our Discord. Please buy our merch. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, which now you can see Summer. But yeah, that's okay.